broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
To look you in the eyes, Lachey's bar, and tell you that we love you so much and we're so sad that it's the end.
The end.
Jenna's still interpretive dancing over here.
Go, girl.
She's lip syncing. However, I'm sure she's going to mess up on the words. Oh, she got it. What, do you know this part? Sing it, Jen.
To me, when you're...
Nope, my hands are tied.
What? Tied, and your heart's not free.
Wait, and we're not meant to be. Okay.
Ooh, I love it.
You guys,
I love it.
tonight we watched 2 episodes. Episode 9, Businessmen, Babies, and Bachelorettes. And episode 10, which was Cincy to Stay?
Hey?
Question mark?
Stay.
And we are sad that AfterBuzz TV is doing its last Lachey's Bar after show here. I am your host, Lauren Leonelli. You can find me at Lauren Leonelli on all of the things.
I always love when you say that. I love that. I am James Law Jr. And you can find me on all the interwebs too, but you can look at me at
The
Black Hope LA.
interwebs?
The interwebs.
That was good. I'm going to use that one.
Interwebs, exactly. Black Hope LA on Twitter, James Law Jr. on Facebook. Start there.
And look, if he was...
Start there.
You follow him. And I'm Jennifer Golden, and you can find me on all the social experiences that are out there.
All of them.
All
like
of them.
that.
She's
like
on
that.
all of them, even the pornographic social experiences.
Don't tell my mom.
Just kidding. That
She's
was a
drunk.
joke.
She can't help it.
All the time.
All of the time.
drunk.
Except right
girls.
now, unfortunately. But
Yeah. We
I'm
wish,
drunk by experience.
we wish that we were at Lachey's Bar drinking.
Exactly. Oh my God. Yes.
Okay, so we get into this. We are going to break down both these episodes for you guys tonight.
Yes.
We're going to start with episode 9.
Wait, before we do that,
Oh,
there's one thing.
yes, James. What do you need to tell us?
It's not even the hardest thing. It's just one thing.
It's just one thing. Una
Una
thing.
thing.
Una thing.
Una
thing.
cosa.
That was good.
That was good. Just that, our boss, our guru-ess, our priestess, Maria Menounos, something she started a few years ago has taken off.
That's right.
And it's actually coming to ABC. ABC, a big network.
Big, huge.
Yes.
What is that thing?
It's called Dance Battle America.
That's right. You guys
So-
probably saw it on Instagram.
Exactly, Instagram, and there's 8 families they chose who are going to be on doing these dance battles. It's going to be so much fun. And it's coming on after DWTS, That's Dancing with the Stars.
Perfect.
So, yes. So they come to LA, they're going to be battling. It's going to be great. And it starts on September 14th. That's ABC, 10 p.m. Set your DVRs after you're done with the show. After you watch the show, go to your television and set your DVRs.
And you guys, you're already watching Dancing with the Stars, so just
Yeah.
keep the dancing going.
Exactly.
And you get to watch the real peeps do their thing and
Yeah.
battle it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why we're not on there.
Oh my God.
Hello?
We could have been a family.
Got
We
moves.
could have been a family, mom and
been.
dad, and their daughter, Lauren, who's so much younger than everyone else at the table.
And here I thought I was the daughter.
I thought I was a daughter.
Oh, you are.
It's all there. So we got that out, and now that was the business at hand. That's very exciting.
I love it. I'm going to be watching.
Me too. I'm gonna watch it
Same.
also.
And so, okay, so let's get back to Lachey's.
Yes.
Nick comes back to town. It's a month. The bar has been open a month. Drew has been taking care of all of the business on his own. Nick is at home taking care of Brooklyn, and he finally comes back. It's just the way he thought it was going to be. And Drew says, you know what? I'm going to take the night off.
Deservedly.
You just do your thing here. And gives him, I did notice he gave him very little instruction.
Very. He's just run the bar.
Right.
Just
Go.
go.
And see.
And go. And then he says there's a bunch of kegs that you need to bring up, empty kegs, and he doesn't really tell him that
A bunch is so many.
a bunch is so
bunch, I
many,
know.
and that the guy that drops off the filled kegs will actually take out the empty kegs. It's just Drew being Drew.
Yeah.
So Nick, whatever, he does all of that, and then the bar opens, and there's a barrage of things that occur that Nick doesn't know how to deal with, which nobody in his shoes would know how to deal with.
If you never worked at a restaurant or ran a restaurant or a bar, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, were they ever trained on like how to run a bar?
No, I don't think so.
They have like a GM.
Yeah.
They have staff.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're there sort of like for
Nick thinks
probably
he's going to
morale.
be like picking up loose ends, like taking trashes out and like just picking up where
Right.
they're falling short. And all of those things seem like just random stuff that you could just do. Like, okay, oh, here, let me help you with those plates or whatever.
Right.
But what ends up coming into play is like one of the TVs needs to be changed. So, and the system is really complicated. So Nick has to call Drew and be like, can you walk me through this remote? Which it does sound very complicated.
Very.
Oh, no, yeah.
And
definitely.
even Drew, who's at home having a glass of wine with Leah, is like laughing but saying like, actually, it is kind of complicated.
He was pretty understanding of the fact that Nick had to keep calling.
Yeah.
I think Leah was more like annoyed.
Like,
She's
you're
like,
supposed to be off.
Right. But he also didn't give Nick any direction, so he sort of probably expected this to happen.
Yeah, you do know. Yeah.
Then Nick starts taking reservations. We see him take a reservation for the pedal wagon room. So we think this is great. Then Nick needs to bring up a keg, and he doesn't know how to like
Switch him out.
Yeah, switch out the keg. He's like, I can tap a keg, but I don't know how to switch out the keg, so he's got to call Drew again. Then he has to call Drew again because
He has to do a refund for a round of shots.
that he's comping, and Drew's like, just use your credit card, dude. So anyway, after all of those calls, and everything ends up going fine, and Nick's doing a great job. He's talking to the customers, he's running food, he's doing whatever he can, and it seems like it's all good. Well, the next day, Drew comes over and just wants to check in, how'd everything go? And Nick's like, great, and we got a reservation for the side pedal wagon room.
Right.
Like, when we're not using the pedal wagon, because it's like, February there right now, and it's snowing and freezing, that's more of a summer thing. When we're not using it now, we'll use it for like a private event room.
Makes sense.
And
Makes
Drew's
sense.
like, well, we have a party booked that same day and time with a bunch of businessmen, and Nick has booked a bachelorette party.
Uh-oh, double booking.
Double booking of two people who are very different.
Very different.
Very different. And then we have this other side story that's happening where Dre and Josh come in. They're family friends. And that's actually like a dream of theirs, is to have like their friends be served at their bar and like it be like their place. So they come in and they're all talking about the fact that Nick and Drew were bet by Chris Rose, their other friend, that they wouldn't be able to babysit all 6 kids, that they would totally fail.
That's a lot of
Chris
kids.
and Shannon Rose have a lot of children, and they're all girls and one
6.
little boy.
That's a lot.
And they roll deep when they go places. It's like a lot of people all the time.
Yes.
Party of 8 every
So,
single time.
Every time.
Gratuity included every time.
Literally, you guys don't understand. Like, they bring like a small barbecue to like an enormous party. Like, all of a sudden, there's 10 more people, and you're like, oh crap! Like, you have to double all the
I
recipes
grew up
when
in a
the
big
roses
family,
are
so I
coming.
understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So they have this bet saying if Nick and Drew can't like successfully babysit, we don't really know what these successful parameters
Yeah,
are.
what
What
does
are
that
the
mean?
terms?
Yeah,
We don't
what does
get
that
it.
mean?
Obviously,
They're alive,
they
so-
all are alive
yeah,
at the
right.
end, thank God. But
One kid did throw up.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Casper the baby threw up, the baby boy. They finally had a boy, and then they stopped. It was for real. Like,
That's so
yes,
funny.
it was like a thing. Like, we're gonna do this until we
Till
have
you
a
have a boy.
boy,
Oh
and then
my
it was
God.
like.
That's an expensive thing to complete.
Yeah, hello.
I mean,
What
I
if
don't
they
know
had
if
a-
that's exactly it,
can
but it
tweet it
was
later.
mostly like after a while, it was like,
Okay.
well, and then we got a boy, and then there was like, okay, no more. They're very sweet and fun, and totally like their kids. They just kind of like, I mean, when you have so many, you can't like helicopter mom all of them, so they just
No.
kind of like do their own thing. But so Nick and Drew go over, they take care of the babies, and they're, trying to win this bet. Like, if they do this successfully, Chris has to come wash all of the dishes for a day at the restaurant, and if they don't, then the Roses get to come in and eat, and that's like an $800 bill probably.
Right. And washing dishes is not easy all day long. Ooh, at a
I'm
place
sure.
like that.
Well, turns out though
Is
that
it the
Nick and
dishes
Drew
in the
lose.
back? You gotta roll up your sleeves, but while you're watching, you can make it
song
to
is
a
that?
Benz out of that Datsun. You don't know what that
Well,
is?
I think it wasn't the right tune or something.
Kanye, excuse me. Do not question my tune or my
I mean,
lyrics.
maybe I would
It
have
was
known it
Gold
if it-
Digger
oh.
by Kanye West. Nice try.
I mean, I know that song
Okay,
real well.
yeah,
so.
you should. Golden.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, golden.
Yeah,
right?
hello.
I mean, just a very similar one syllable in those two words.
Just thought I would give you a little splash of my rapscallions.
Oh, I like it. I took it.
Thank you. So they end
Ranging in age from like 12-year-old to tiny baby.
to like a year and a half.
And Drew made a good point of saying that, like, the best thing you can do is tire them out or, like, keep them doing stuff so they're not bored and then they torture
Get into
you.
trouble.
Right.
It looked like they kept them occupied, or maybe it was the reverse. But it wasn't unsuccessful in like any injuries or anything, but I guess they felt very overwhelmed. So, the whole Rose family comes in, a day or so later and does the dinner thing. Meanwhile, this is the same night where they have booked the pedal wagon room for the business dinner and
Double
the bachelorette
booking.
party. So the business dinner's coming in and they're like, you know what, we got this. We're gonna get this done. And I will say, leading up to this, most of the problems or issues that they have made on this show have felt maybe like they weren't like so
Issuey. Wait, do you know in the Oxford Dictionary, adding Y to words is a thing now?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, remember? It's like chefy.
Oh,
But can you do it to
Issuey.
any word?
I think so.
oh.
Or it will be added next year, issuey.
Thank
Issuey.
you. Credit us today,
You're
here
welcome.
and now.
Some might say like conflicting or troublesome. Issuey is my
Issuey.
word.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with
I
that?
was like, wait, issuey.
Got it. I
Issue.
think issuey sounds so much more intelligent.
Yeah.
I think so. It sums it up properly. So.
And totes sums it up properly.
Oh yeah.
So
agree
this
with you.
this episode issues were way more issuey
Yes.
than the other issues that were presented,
Which were less issuey.
which were
By
less
our
issuey
standards.
than the
And were issues
issues
for us watching.
of the issues in the show's issues.
Yes.
Yeah. Now
Exactly.
you guys got that.
Right? Did
Right.
you follow that?
Right.
Cool. Thank you. So I really honestly was like, oh God, what are they going to do?
Yeah. I
And
agree
like,
too.
and
Right.
Nick was genuinely like, okay, it's gonna be fine. And he kind of felt bad about double booking and like not really knowing what's going on. He's really trying to like dip his feet in there, and he's sort of like kind of trying to tread water and stay above it. And he's doing a good job, but you can feel his stress.
Right. It seemed like legitimate stress because to have an entire party of 8 people,
know.
you finish it at a certain time.
Yeah.
That's you can't
Without pushing
Yes.
them out.
right, and you don't want to be that business
And
that
it's
pushes
the
anybody
first
out.
private party they booked at
Right.
Lachey's. So they're like, oh, crap. So then these guys are in there. They seem like they're finishing up, except then they order another round. And Nick
course.
is like, no. Like, he's very worried. They actually, so then they have to, and the bachelorette party shows up early. So they're right up to the pedal wagon room, screaming, drunk, bachelorette party.
good
Which
time.
who shows up 45 minutes early to anything?
I know. I was. Yeah.
And
don't do
Nick
that.
and Drew, totally. And Nick and Drew are like, we got to occupy them because the business, there's just a glass garage door in between them. These businessmen, they're having fun, but it's not that kind of party.
Right.
So they get the girls in, they get them to a table, they give them a round of drinks, fireball shots. Nick's going over there. He's like, I only got so much charm in me, but he's talking to him. He's schmoozing. He's taking pictures with the selfie stick. He's like really working his ass
Yeah,
off.
he turned on the charm for that. I thought it would have been great if they combined parties because then the bachelorettes would have hung out with the businessmen.
I know, but
you
I
get where
feel
we're going
like
here.
the businessmen were like married, and it would
Right,
have been
probably.
We're
inappropriate.
a whole different outcome.
But also, like, well, they're saying they're trying to stall the bachelorettes.
Yes.
At the same time, whenever you show up early to a reservation, if you're a large group,
I agree.
Yeah, you know.
I agree.
you're just going to get drinks at the bar. You're not gonna get your table unless, by the grace of God, the table's ready and the room is empty.
But then there is also a thing when you're in a bachelorette party. I've been to a few. You're drunk.
Yeah, so you also
Right.
and they
Little,
seemed like
your
they
little-
were 3 sheets to the wind
Yeah,
at this
so they're
point
not-
too.
they're not
and then they were after that.
What on earth is under here?
Oh, no.
Okay, sorry. There's a cord that's hitting me in a very weird spot.
Oh, girl. Okay, you be alone.
Anyway, let me just adjust my seat position. Sorry, I just didn't want to look weird looking under the table. You guys are wondering what I was doing. It's James. He's playing footsie
I
with me.
am. I do. I can't help it.
He does that. It's a
I can't
thing.
It's a
help
thing. So these business guys, they get another shot, and then they end, and they're worried they're not going to finish. They end up getting them out on time. These
Yes.
girls probably didn't have to wait that long. We don't know the actual time frame.
Right.
They
I
didn't,
wish we did know because also you see that the bachelorettes are sitting next to the roses, which is
Mm-hmm.
inopportune. If I had a bachelorette party and there was like a small child next to me, I'd be
know.
like, no.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
like
I
that
agree.
was kind of done on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Heightened.
I don't
sense
know.
of-
I'm just going to say because it was funny that the roses were there. And then Nick even pointed out, he's like, this is right now. That is your future. And
Oh,
pointed
funny.
to the roses. And, when they've got the 6 kids screaming and running around. But they got the girls into the pedal wagon room. The girls said they had the time of their lives.
Yes, they rated it with their cards that they had for the bachelorette party.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cute. Let's just talk about, there was a lot of Nick in this episode, so that was good to see.
Yes.
He also faced, that was actually in the next episode when he FaceTimed with Vanessa.
right,
I'm grouping them together.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
there was a really cute part where they were talking about going to babysit for the Roses, and Nick said, I don't know why they're doubting us. We've got kids. And then he said, doubters going to doubt. And Drew said,
You got to shake it off.
just shake it off.
Shake it off.
I thought that was cute.
I thought it was so cute. I wrote it down too. I also thought it was cute that Drew said to and through, and Nick was like to and through.
About the kids.
Yeah. Because they each have 2, which I think when you think about 6 kids and 2 adults taking care of them, like each would just monitor 3 kids. However, it's not like they're separate quarters. No, they're all together. So it's 6 kids.
Outnumbered.
It's like a playpen of sorts, and it's just a lot of a pile up of 6 versus 3. That's just a lot.
No.
Doubt.
So anyway, they got it all done. It was great. And they felt like they had a win-win on their hands.
However, they did. But then they didn't win the Rose situation.
Oh, right.
So
yeah, they didn't. But
2 Lachey, 1 Rose family.
Touche, Lachey.
Oh, touche.
But the bar restaurant won.
It did.
It did. They had a lot of business.
Yeah.
So now we are not going to do any predictions because we're just going to move into the next episode, and we have no news and gossip. So we're going to move right into episode 10, guys.
Which is the season finale.
The season finale. It was called In Cincy to Stay? Question mark. And we see that, now Nick's here. He's ready to go. He's really into the bar. And the merchandise arrives.
It was cute merchandise. I'm going
So
to get something.
Well, guys, go on Lachey'sBar.com and order your merchandise. It's so cute. I have a couple of shirts. The hats are really good.
The jackets are cute.
The jackets are cute. The hats are made by Marucci. So any baseball guy fans out there, you'll love the hats and the way they fit. Get them all.
Baby clothes.
Baby clothes.
Yeah, baby clothes.
They even have crop tops,
They do.
tank tops. It's all very cute.
Very.
So go on and get some of that. And Drew decides that he's going to take photos of their family and friends.
Yes.
For the merchandise, I think that totally makes sense for their feel of the bar.
Right.
I agree. I totally agree.
Right?
They use family and friends. I mean, it made sense.
Yeah.
Because it's it's family owned.
Yeah.
Their friends hang out there. The whole point was that their friends would just lounge there all the time.
And it fits Cincinnati. It fits that kind of Midwest feel. You just
Totally
use your
does.
people around you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they decide that they're going to do that, and then they've got this radio show meeting. So they go back to Q 102. The radio show that they promoted the opening of the bar. It's like a local Cincinnati radio show. They go, and the program director wants to have a meeting with them, and she suggests them doing a radio show. She said they loved their chemistry together. Nick and Drew are really funny together.
Yes, they are. Funny.
They're like frickin' frack.
They are like frickin' frack. And she thinks that it would be a good idea. Nick suggests making it kind of like a sports theme thing. And she's like, well, most of our listeners are women.
She squashes that real
She
quick.
just was like, next.
But she does give them creative control to think about what they want to do. They're giving them a 2-hour-long episode. And Nick suggests, why don't we record, I was going to say film, but why don't we record this episode in Lachey's bar?
Yes.
And they're thinking if this is something that they like and that's something that works, it could be a really good 2-hour-long commercial every week for the bar.
Every week.
Great idea.
Ladies love Lachey, and it's like live from Lachey's.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
ladies
great
love
idea.
some Lachey. That's what they said.
Yep.
So they brainstorm some ideas in the car, and then they get down. I guess it's maybe later that night or the next day. They have a poker night in the basement at Nick's, and Nick kind of tells them, we're really thinking about doing this radio show, and they're like, well, Josh is like, how are you going to do this radio show? You're not even here. And Nick's like, well, we're thinking about coming here permanently. And Drew's giving him crap for it because he's like, you guys talk about this all the time. You're in LA. You're never going to be here. And Nick's whole idea is, listen, I'm doing Big Morning Buzz Live in New York. The commute from New York to Cincy is like an hour and 20-minute flight.
That's right.
It's so much easier. We're really considering moving. And if this radio show works out, it would be great. I can bounce back from the bar to New York, and it seems like it's making sense.
Does your family go back and forth from there all the
yeah,
time?
I have family in New York also.
Oh,
My grandmother's there, so
pretty
it's
close.
like whenever I go back there, it's literally like an hour flight or so to get there.
Sweet.
I love going to the East Coast.
It's very
Yeah.
close.
Very close.
So
Then we see Nick FaceTime with Vanessa.
Yes.
It's pretty Vanessa. Yes.
And
Yes.
so he shares, that thought with her, like, why don't we just do this where we move back?
Because it does sound
Yeah.
like a good idea, especially just getting the bar off and going.
For sure.
And they have a house there.
They have a house
They
there.
totally- they have
the
a house.
kids are young.
Drew and Leah live right
Yeah.
down the street. All the grandparents are there. It totally makes sense. And Vanessa's all for it. She's like,
Yeah.
100%, you don't need to tell me twice. Let's make it work.
Right.
So then we go to the next day. It's the day of the radio show that's happening later, but they start the day off with a photo shoot in the bar, and it's a pretty funny photo shoot. Like Leah and the kids are there, and
Their friends.
Kate, Nick's
Aaron.
mom.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah,
Aaron.
and doing really funny,
Like laying on top of the bar, like posing
like a girl.
Yes. it was
And
funny.
then, like, they
Justin
made a
was
funny
there.
joke, like, nobody's going to know later tonight who's been on this bar.
Yeah.
Or where their food's sitting.
Justin
Yes.
was there.
Yes.
With that
snapping
hat
away.
he always wears.
He always wears the hat.
He does. He likes the hat. I don't
likes
know
the
what
hat.
that is. And it goes well. It's just a cute little part of the.
Yeah.
They're laughing, having fun, taking pictures, and I don't know if those pictures are up on the website, but we should look.
I was just thinking that we should definitely look.
And then we get to cut to later that night. This is the night of the radio show. They've set up, the like little area where there's like a raised table in the corner,
a
kind
booth
of.
much like ours.
Yes,
And
kind
they
of,
usually
yeah.
have had a DJ over there sometimes, so it's
Oh,
like
okay.
kind of by the pedal wagon room in the corner of the bar, and they've got an engineer named John there who's like the third host, who's probably going to kind of keep it running along,
Yeah.
but he's pressing all the buttons and crap.
Yeah.
And they start out talking about who are the great Cincinnati athletes? Let's name some. We've got,
Boring.
whoever, I don't even know,
Wah,
Pete
wah.
Rose
I know.
or whoever he's naming, and it's
like,
like dead air. And then he's like, okay, he just calls it out. He's like, that is not. Well, we need to do something different.
Because it was smart of him because, it's when you're out live somewhere, we all know this, you have to interact with the audience.
Right.
First. And then you can start talking. You have to get them engaged because they're going to sit there and just watch you talk.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know if, we had a live audience. We're talking about a TV show we just watched. What if the live audience, I don't know, they're doing a radio show for a live audience, but the people actually listening
Yeah, you can't really.
aren't engaging in what they're doing live. So
Right.
I don't really know how that would work.
But I know they want the feel of that show. They want
Yeah.
the listeners to have to feel like they're in the bar with them.
Right.
So I guess you have to find the balance of talking to them and making the listeners feel like they're in
And
there
then maybe
too.
relaying what
Right.
some of them are shouting out, like the listeners are hearing background noise, and then they're like, because then they eventually kind of do something like that where it seemed like it was a bad audience participation was a little difficult, but it was also just a really bad topic.
Yes. So yeah,
Really?
I think there's a balance.
What's-
There's the balance of doing it.
Did something just? That's not
Oh.
okay. Sorry, there's a bug in here.
It's more like a creature.
Yeah,
Jen,
it's like-
why did you do that? Because
Sorry. I'm making sure it stays in one
I'm
place.
going to tell you, Jen,
Alexis,
if
that's a big, it looks like a praying mantis
Okay.
of some kind.
I'm not looking. I swear to God, if that thing
Sorry,
flies down here-
on air people.
Okay.
Okay.
5 minutes to wrap this
Yes.
up, and then I'm going to go cry.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm so scared.
So some of the things they do while they're doing the radio
Wait,
show,
you guys.
which by the way, is it a radio show or a talk show?
Oh my God, I'm so scared.
You're fine. I got you. I'm going to just keep my eye on it. Okay, so some of the things they talk about when they get less boring and more exciting
yes.
is which Lachey was it? They play a game and they say things like who graduated summa cum laude.
No, that
No,
was
superlatives with
It
superlatives.
was a good trivia game.
It was a really good one about their family.
I'm pretending this is not happening. It was who was the oh my God, it was not valedictorian, salutatorian.
Right, that one.
And it was Nick, and who got kicked out
Cincinnati
of a
Bengals
Cincinnati
game.
Bengals game? It was Nick. Also, oh my gosh, I'm itchy. I'm seriously so scared. I'm sweating. So, you guys, we are doing this for you right now. If
Yes,
it
we
weren't
are.
for you, I would run the
Yes.
F out of this room like it was on fire.
I got you. I've got
We're
one
good.
eye on you and
Me
one
too.
eye on
Me
it.
too. We got
Okay,
it.
then they did the icky dance, which
Yes,
is
we did.
that
The icky shuffle.
The icky
Yes.
shuffle, which is certain person on the Bengals
Okay,
that does a celebratory dance,
Certain person.
and it's when he gets a touchdown and he does like
Okay, he's a famous football player, old football
Yes,
player, and
yes.
he had a famous touchdown dance when they were allowed to do it, and then they weren't, and then they were again
I remember that,
to
yeah.
do the celebration.
Yeah.
And he had a famous dance, and Drew gets up and he demonstrates it because Drew's the dancer of the family.
Yes.
And then they have everyone spike the football, and at
It's
the
a
end,
competition.
like he would
Yeah.
do. And
It was fun.
whoever does the best dance gets a shirt. Well, finally, after like 10 of them, this one girl does it and spikes a football, and they know, stop doing that. Did it
Sorry.
fly?
No.
No.
I've got you.
Jesus Christ.
I got you.
Okay, so anyway,
Sorry,
back
viewers.
to you guys. So they do this dance, and they're like, "There's a lot of glass here. This
Yes.
bouncy Nerf ball is going everywhere." Of course, it flies. It hits a glass of red wine and flies all over John, Nick's dad's white shirt. Of course, it's red wine.
And they say something that I always say when something gets spilled. I always say, "Now it's a party."
Where is it?
Oh, I like it. No, I got you. It's fine.
Okay.
I always
up
say
there.
that.
It's
I
up there.
always say that. And they said, and Drew says it. Like I always say that.
Yeah, it's
Now
only a
a
party if somebody spilled.
Somebody
Exactly.
And it was a nice way for John to get a shirt.
Yes.
And John got the shirt because
Yes.
he deserved it because he got spilled on.
They call him Santa Claus because his beard.
And I've never
It's
seen
cute.
John with a beard like
Also,
that.
though, Kate did the dance too.
Did
Yes,
the
she did.
dancer.
She
That was
did.
very cute.
Yes.
Oh God, I'm so scared. And Nick announces at the end of the episode that he is moving to Cincinnati. They're doing this radio show. He is going to move his family out there, and you'll be seeing a lot more of him. We wish that we were seeing more of Lachey's Bar, but we don't
Yeah.
have any information on
No.
whether or not it is
No.
picked
No.
up for season 2. I'm assuming it's not because we didn't hear anything about it, but you never know. Or maybe there's some
Seriously.
sort of a spin-off or something that's going to happen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We hope so because we
Yeah.
want to see more of this.
They
And
did
Nick
say
and Drew-
series. They didn't say series finale. They
That's
said
They
season.
true.
said season
That
finale,
could
so we
be-
just don't know.
yeah, it could
We
be
will
a-
get back to you on that.
I mean, we only
you can
saw
tweet
1
it.
month after the bar opened,
Yeah.
so maybe we'll see.
year later,
Yeah.
6
You
months
never
later.
know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I cannot concentrate with
Yes.
your eyes up there on that bug.
Okay, so wrap it up.
Yeah.
God. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for
Yes, the
watching this
season.
season of Lachey's Bar here at AfterBuzz TV. We are very excited to be here talking about it, and we are so thankful for all of our loyal listeners. Brittany,
Brittany.
thank you. You're the
yes.
best.
Alrighty.
And we will hopefully be back next time we see something about Lachey's. We'll keep our eyes open for you guys.
Tweet at us too if you find out something before us.
Please.
And
Yeah,
make
please
sure
do.
you tweet at us. I'm Lauren Leonelli. You can find me at Lauren Leonelli on all of the social media.
Black Couple LA on Twitter.
Jennifer Golden everywhere.
All right, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.